You don't want anything to do with Southeast, man. I'm telling you. But I will say, hey, the big piney punchers too, man. That's a scary scenario as well. So.
Yeah, just a reminder, we are live here Friday at 6 p.m. at Risky Field. We'll be calling the match on the NFHS feed, so listen in, seeing all your prep action on Friday.
Feeling risky.
Yeah. It's Wyoming High School Football. We're going to go down the rankings as they are and then also present our own rankings because we don't necessarily agree with the coaches or with Wyopreps on where the teams are. So I'll take you through it. No, we don't, Mike. Okay. No, we don't. So we're starting with 1A 6-man. Burlington listed as the top. And, Mike, it's no surprise to you, right, that we don't agree with this at all. It's Little Snake River that should be the number one in 1A 6-man football. Do you want to take anything about that?
Well, I'm just going to put it out there, though, Dirk. Now, I love some Snake River football. Stone Cold Snake River is about to whoop a can. Open a can. Whoop a can. Yes, they're going to whoop a can. We're still very much, language, words are good.
Family
that
show.
Sort of a thing, yes. But Burlington is the defending champs, and,
They did beat Little Snake River in the finals, too.
Yes. So I think that there is perfect logic to have Burlington ranked number one in this situation.
All right, coming down the rest of the rankings there, Little Snake River coming in number 2 for 6-man. After that, we have Casper Christian as number 4.
Oh.
We're flipping this a little bit. Encampment is listed as number 4 on Wyopreps, but we have Casper Christian, and then Encampment at number 5. Going into the 1A 9-man football, at the top of this, Lingle Fort Laramie, just across the board, getting a lot of love on both the coaches' polls and just what's listed on Wyopreps. We're going to go ahead and say we agree with that, but going down after that, you have the Pines of Southeast Wyoming. Well, I should say not Southeast. They're all over. Big Piney Punchers listed as number 2. We're in agreement with that. After that, Pine Bluffs taking the 3rd spot. Then Rocky Mountain and Southeast. Yeah, we have a little bit of a different disagreement here. We have, just based off the mascot alone, Southeast moves into the 4th spot for us, and then Rocky Mountain, number 5. Mike, anything about Southeast and just that terrifying mascot?
You don't want anything to do with Southeast, man. I'm telling you. But I will say, hey, the big piney punchers too, man. That's a scary scenario as well. So, you hear that sound in the background. That's what happens to you when you go up to the punchers. You're gonna get mulched, blasted. Yeah, exactly. So Southeast Big Piney, we're looking forward to that showdown. Going to be primetime television in certain parts of Wyoming.
All right, after that, 2A rankings, Mike. Bighorn at the top spot. Again, just like we were saying before, those defending state champions are going to get a lot of love right off the bat. After that, Mountain View. Mountain View taking the number 2 spot. Lovell, Worland, and Cokeville. We have a little bit of a disagreement here where we're taking Mountain View as the number 1 team on the BFSN rankings. After that, Bighorn, and then Lovell, Worland, and Cokeville. Anything about the Mountain View folks over Bighorn? I mean,
big on Mountain View.
Do you have something against, Mountain View Bison or Buffalo, right?
Yeah.
Better than the Bighorn Goats?
Is it the goats? It's not the sheep?
I mean, that was kind of a,
look, week 1, we're loving the Mountain Views here on Buford Sports Network. That's all about the analysis I have on
I'm going to tell you, though, Bighorn might have the best stadium in Wyoming High School football. You ever been up there? It is set in the Bighorns. You got the big backdrop. It's a great stadium, great atmosphere, so no love lost for Bighorn. We're just taking Mountain View on top of that.
Taking Mountain View.
Mike, now we're down to the 3A bunch, okay?
Yeah.
Star Valley, unanimous pick across the board as the defending state champions here take the top spot. We're going to go ahead and agree with that. But then after that, Cody takes the number 2 spot, coming off a sore loss to those Braves in the final. Riverton is next. Powell and Douglas. Look, we're going out on a limb here, and we're taking a completely different take on the rankings here. We have first Star Valley, and then Cody, the top 2. We're going to give those, defending, championship contenders in there. But then after that, Evanston has a huge win in week 0. They go all the way into Utah. They beat a Utah team 28-0. It's a shutout, and they beat an out-of-state opponent. We're going to give them the nod. They're the number 3 spot for us. Douglas and then Powell. Mike, what do you have to say? The Red Devils.
David Putty.
We're the Devils! David Putty's back. But that used to be a 4A club, just like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, well, they're working their way back up. I think Wyoming's high school sports system actually might be the perfect system for relegation.
Why not? Just
it might.
Let it go.
I would love to see Star Valley up there mixing it up with the likes of Sheridan.
Dude, honestly, Star Valley would probably beat the likes of at least Laramie, South, Kelly Walsh, potentially. And then, after that, you have some questions. But at least 3 4A teams, they're definitely winning, putting up a pretty good contest with most of the 4A teams. I think Sheridan's still going to take them to task, and so will East. But
probably. But Star Valley, like the Valor Christian of Wyoming 3A football.
There you go.
Also, Casper Christian McCaffrey.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. God. All right, 4A rankings. All right. I think it's going to be unanimous. It has to be unanimous. If you voted for anybody else, I don't know what you're doing. But Sheridan, after that 79-0 win down in Cheyenne, coming out at the top of the rankings. After that, East is listed as number 2 with a win over Laramie. Third, you have Natrona County and Steve Harshman's bunch coming in third with the coaches poll. After that, Campbell County and then Rock Springs. Rock Springs having a win over Central High School. Look, we have a little bit of a different rankings here. First, we have Sheridan. Then after that, we have East. But Mason Drube and your Campbell County Camels really showing a lot. I mean, 279 yards of passing on only 15 completions, Mike. I mean, This is an insane bunch that you got to be looking for. I would argue if it was a different opponent that Campbell County was playing, I probably would have had them in the second spot. But, when East puts up 414 yards of total offense, it's a little hard to keep them out of the second spot, especially as, a state runner-up finalist. So after that, we also have Rock Springs at number 5, and Harshman's bunch is in 4 with Natrona County. Mike, anything about the 4A rankings?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you're going quarterback play over defense on this one. I think you could probably make a case for Natrona being 3. It'll play out. We're excited to see Mason Drube this weekend in Cheyenne. We've got the call, and it will be fun to watch him in person as Campbell County takes on Central. Should be a good one. We'll get to it in another segment.
Yeah, just a reminder, we are live here Friday at 6 p.m. at Risky Field. We'll be calling the match on the NFHS feed, so listen in, seeing all your prep action on Friday.
Feeling risky.
Yeah.